Now, it was the dawning of the space program, and famed producer Irwin Allen created a series that would become a cult classic. Lost in Space only ran for 3 seasons, but new generations of fans continue to discover the fantastic show. Entertainment reporter Richard Reid caught up with the show's cast for this Australian television exclusive.
Today, the first of what may be as many as 10 million families per year is setting out on its epic voyage into man's newest frontier for colonization, deep space.
It's been 5 decades since the Robinson family boarded the Jupiter 2, blasted off towards Alpha Centauri, and became hopelessly lost in space.
All hope is now gone.
Now hang on 1 second. Now Lost in Space was set in the futuristic year of 1997 and had us believing that space travel would soon be as common as catching a bus or a train. So what is it about this show that continues to inspire a galaxy of fans? Well, the remaining cast members of Lost in Space are at this very special event, so why don't we ask them ourselves? Huh? Why don't we? Affirmative.
How do I know? Ask Don. My field's electronics. Well, pardon me.
I was 10 when we started Lost in Space and 14 when we went off the air.
It grabbed our imaginations, though, as well as many, many other people. And because the space race was on, everybody dreamed about going to another planet and a family there, and boy, it was way in 1997, you know, that this was all going to happen.
Let's go. I want us to get out of here as quickly as we can.
All right.
I have met many, 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 many astronauts, and almost to a man or a woman, they say that watching Lost in Space as a child made them know what they wanted to do when they grew up.
I mean, wow.
But I do think that it was family-oriented.
Yes.
And I think that there was a kind of warmth about it. They would watch the show and they would play games. They would all be either Judy or Dawn or Maureen or, you know, and that became very much a part of their childhood.
8 hours after launch, the robot will destroy the spaceship.
Lost in Space was a major hit, largely due to the antics of everybody's favorite villain, Dr. Zachary Smith, played by Jonathan Harris.
Don't trust him. He's as slippery as a bucket of eels.
You had the bulk of the scenes with him, and you two played off each other so well. What was he like to work with?
He was one of a kind, dear boy, and don't you forget it. Mind your manners or you'll lose your friends, you ninny. Jonathan was a joy. He held court on the set every single solitary day. He gifted everyone in the crew and the cast sweets, lollipops.
Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Roll Pops.
He'd go up on the catwalks and he'd throw them at people. And
No, Mark did that.
Oh, he did
Jonathan
that.
never climbed a ladder in his life. He'd have a stuntman walk up 4 steps.
1, 2, 3, 4. Put a bit more snap in there, will you? Good.
He was a joy to work with, and honestly and truly, regardless of the stories that, oh, maybe there was friction in the direction that the show went, and that may very well be true, there was no friction between the cast on the set. We all got along really, really good.
We had some laughs.
We still do. I mean, it's like one big dysfunctional family.
You two dated.
We did. We did.
And Angela?
We married other people.
That's true. And we're
we had
still married to
children.
them. Excuse me. This is the Lord correcting you. It's my wife. It's my wife. She knows we're talking about this right now.
There were groundbreaking special effects, fierce monsters, guest stars,
I am called Quano. I am 12 years old.
and a pet bloop called Debbie.
Oh, he's darling. May I have him?
And of course, there was Robot, who had the classic line,
Warning! Warning! Danger, Will Robinson.
why do you think that fans still continue to flock to the show, watch the show continually, and are devoted to it and show up at events like this?
Nostalgia, that's all I gotta say. Most of them come from other planets.
That would be the reason.
No, good taste, I suppose. They have great taste in TV. Right?
Yes, that must be it.
Wow, there is so much to talk about in that story.
It's just so lifelike. Like, it's like you're really there.
Realistic character.
I still expect that that's what other planets look like.
But we were terrified. And I actually have to watch from behind the couch, just peeping one eyeball over. I mean, Dr. Smith.
Yeah, he was a scary man.
The Iago of children's
I can't
television.
believe Will Robinson's in danger again.
But even as a kid, when they'd go looking for someone, even in my mind, I'd go, well, they'll just be on the other side of that rock because there was one rock that kind of got moved. Like, you know, I'd love to have been one of the guys working on the crew. All right, we're doing a scene changeover, and they just moved the rock to there. Everyone, other side of the rock.
And there was a picture there of Kurt Russell, wasn't there?
Kurt Russell.
Looking amazing.
Well, there's an urban legend that Walt Disney's, because he was a massive child star, and that Walt Disney's last written words were Kurt Russell.
I thought his last spoken words. Spoken words.
It was written words, and because they found this document, but it turns out that they'd told a bunch of other kids the same thing as, did you know that his last spoken...
But I saw them ask Kurt Russell that in an interview, and they said, "What?"
I'm so confused.
So Walt Disney, but when I saw him interviewed, it was his last spoken words, I thought.
Oh, was that?
And it's a far more exciting story to tell the people at home. It was his last spoken words, and that is fact. Only made up by me, but that
I think we just got lost in space.
Yeah, very
lost in space.
But they said to him, "What do you think that means?" And he said, "I have no idea."
Warning.
The Robinsons, this is really interesting, could actually be going back into space with news. There is a remake of Lost Space in development.
Really?
And the fabulous Richard Reid will have more celebrity interviews in the coming weeks.
Surely they couldn't improve upon the one with Matt LeBlanc.
Exactly. Yes, love Richard.